Rd.4. A very stylish driver in Nakamura and a very quick driver in LAURI. Flair of style. Good.
Different flair of style.
I like that.
Park, he knows he'll have all.
This is not the usual chassis and not the usual engine. Kevin Bassert does a really good initiation. James Deane just almost over-rotates. I don't know if that was planned or what happened.
Way back to the paddock, we go back to the start line to a battle that we spoke about earlier on. LAURI Heinonen to take on NAOKI NAKAMURA.
This is another battle very similar to what we saw before. A very stylish driver in Nakamura and a very quick driver in LAURI Heinonen, who, I mean, he can drive a lot of style, don't get me wrong, but a different style
It's a different flair of style.
Different flair of style. Good.
Different flair of style.
I like that.
Is that even a...
It is now.
It is now, yeah.
Mint it.
Well, there we go. Nakamura sits in that chase position. Heinonen opts to lead first as a higher qualifier. They get the green light and they are off through the gears. And LAURI Heinonen said it's like a fantasy battle, chasing and battling NAOKI NAKAMURA. Nakamura matches the initiation, but LAURI Heinonen deals with it better and fires that car right across the circuit. Now starts to pull away as Nakamura tries to get himself back into the fight, makes a big dive in the outside zone as Heinonen puts that car right to the edge of the circuit, fires it towards the wall and gets it done perfectly, and Nakamura fires through the smoke, just can't get there, just can't get that proximity.
Yeah, LAURI Heinonen is so fast and incredibly dialed and just has that lead run completely locked down at this point. Knows where he needs to be on track, set it and forget it right at initiation, and interesting, Nakamura behind him. Look how fast Nakamura's initiation is. So when they swap that around, that is going to be a tough go for LAURI Heinonen, who right now looks completely on form, really pushing to get back into this championship fight. He knows he's back a little bit. Defending that title is one of the toughest spots to be, and Nakamura throughout this entire thing does have to cut a little bit to get back into the chase.
He does.
Yeah, has to cut a bit.
And he kind of triangulates some of those outside zones. If you watch the line he takes, he's triangulated it quite a bit, and he still doesn't really manage to get himself in the fight. Look at that, way on the inside there, because he knows that Heinonen's going to be fast as soon as he picks up the throttle and drives away. And yeah, look, Nakamura's there, but not there.
Yeah, and when you triangulate like that, you have to change the momentum of the car really quick. It's wanting to go backwards, so then you have to then dig out of it again, and you get kind of stretched on even more. But change them around. Let's see how this goes.
Well, you said to me that this is going to be interesting, this bit. We talked about this a lot. Here we go. Nakamura to lead out LAURI Heinonen. What can LAURI Heinonen do? Can he deal with these crazy initiations from the Japanese driver? And look at the pace that Nakamura's firing in. Big angle. Heinonen deals with it, sticks to his own thing now, starts to settle himself into the battle as Nakamura goes for that outside zone. Heinonen finds himself on the inside. Nakamura wheels over the edge of the circuit as LAURI Heinonen fires through the smoke, looks for the side of that GR86, trying to get himself into the mix, stands on the foot brake as Nakamura trying to slow that car down, and Heinonen almost makes contact.
Yeah, Heinonen, this is why he's a champion. I had a thought of what might come out of this battle, especially with the crazy initiation that Nakamura was doing all weekend. And what LAURI Heinonen did proved me so wrong in the best possible way. He held back. He knows how fast his car is, and he went, I'm going to let Nakamura, I'm going to give him some space, I'm going to let him throw that crazy angle, I'm not going to try and mirror that right off the bat, and then I'm going to dive in and get that proximity. And it's such a smart move from LAURI Heinonen. Nakamura out front, all style, all day, does get a little bit wide there, holds onto the handbrake maybe a touch too long, floating it out there. LAURI Heinonen not shaking at any point in time. Battle of two completely different styles in these cars. One with a ton of flair, a ton of angle, throwing all the style everywhere that he can, and then LAURI Heinonen with that speed and precision, and it makes for such a unique and interesting battle as they come through it. Nakamura doing exactly what he does, what he's known for in Japan and everywhere else in the world. LAURI Heinonen doing what he's known for, aggressive and fast and precise.
There we go. You see from the replay there, Nakamura just dropping a few of those outside zones as well. So judges will be taking a look at that one. They wait for the decision to drop in. Heinonen calculated all, as always, on his lead. He gives a wave to the camera. Here we go. Slide him left for Nakamura, right for LAURI Heinonen. That's going to be one vote for LAURI Heinonen. It's going to be LAURI Heinonen takes the win, advances through. And judges looking over saying, yep, Nakamura losing some of those outside zones. Not a very good clean chase. Unfortunately, bows out of competition, and Heinonen starting to feel like he's still in it.
Yeah, I mean, Nakamura, though, just absolutely on it.
Yeah, absolutely on it. And there we go, Nakamura still smiling, always happy, pulls that car off circuit, but a man that will have a smile on his face after a stressful day yesterday will be LAURI Heinonen, Becky.
Absolutely, Ian. You know, we were just having a conversation. I was listening to you up there and saying, you know what? A smart move from LAURI there, that he's holding back, letting him go ahead with that initiation before he kind of sucks up to him and gets into the zones. But LAURI, is that what you were doing, or did you actually get gapped off the start line there?
Yeah, I was gapped. I was, because Naoki is one of my biggest idols, I was just gazing at him at the start line, like enjoying myself, and ooh, then he went.
Well,
It's a fantasy battle.
Yeah.
Yours is your feature pick.
Yeah.
This weekend.
Yeah, this is one of those, if you look at the whole thing, who would you like to see go head-to-head? This has got to be one of your picks here because you have a driver on such a massive come-up in the sport right now, and then you've got an OG that changed the game everywhere he went, whether it was power or builds or style or anything. Daigo Saito, an absolute legend.
He certainly is when he comes off the line in that incredible A90 Supra alongside a man that made his mark here last year in DRIFTMASTERS, the Rookie of the Year, fires that carbon Kevlar S15 in, but he can't shake Saito, and he does shake Saito. Saito goes for a big angle transition and puts himself on the middle of the circuit. Now panicking, Saito goes for the front wheel of Connor Falvey's S15. He transitions way in the wrong place. Saito making a hash of it. He's going to dive on the inside as Connor Falvey puts the car right where it needs to be and across the line.
Holy for Connor Falvey there. Shake. The shirts are up, but look at Connor Falvey right off the go. Big angle all the way out, and then it looks like Saito just getting on the throttle a bit too early there. This is not the usual chassis he's in, not the usual engine package he's in, and in the car that's absolutely beautiful. So, yeah, and this is where Daigo Saito made that contact. Judges deeming him at fault, and there's the damage from it.
Yeah, and there was damage. There was a bent rear arm on the back of Connor Falvey's car, so the team got that swapped out and realigned, and now looking ready to rock and roll as they come off the line. It's going to be Connor Falvey's chase down Saito as they come through the gears. Daigo Saito fires that car to angle. Big initiation, flicks dust in the face of Connor Falvey, jumps over the curb and now starts to pull away from the young Irishman as he gets into the outside zone. Connor Falvey sacrificing some line there to try and find that lost proximity as he gets up on the inside, now fires down onto the wall. Daigo Saito going absolutely 110% around the circuit as Falvey jumps onto the back bumper.
This is a bit of wheel speed and just throws that car with so much aggression. Look at those 20-inch wheels, biggest wheels on the grid right now.
Here we go, slide them left for Falvey, right for Saito, and it's 2 votes for Connor Falvey, gets the win and takes down the legend that is Daigo Saito. As Daigo Saito says, yeah, I know it was coming. We go, James Deane doing his hand exercises there before he puts that car into gear. Kevin Purser, as always, absolutely cool, calm and collected. Oh, he means business. He knows that James Deane is the man to beat here at Mondello Park. He knows he'll have all of the Irish fans screaming his name as they come through the gears, down over the hill, and a big flick. And look at that from Kevin Purser right on the back bumper. This is the closest battle we've seen so far, door to door, as they come through the outside zone. Purser goes for the transition, and this is clean from both drivers as Purser goes for the front wheel of that Mustang. Kevin Purser goes for an early transition, trying to hunt down the Irishman as he fires that BMW onto the side of that Mustang. They come through that last outside zone, door to door. Wow! The shot of the helmet, and Deane jumps off that start line, ready for action. He would have known by the spotters. The Purser was always there. He was always in the wing mirror. And look at this big angle from Deane. Is it a mistake? He deals with it. Shallows up the angle. Kevin Purser looking rock solid as James Deane now fires down the inside that BMW. They go door to door in the outside zone. Kevin Purser unshaken though as he puts foot to floor, looks for the transition. Deane back into the battle. They go wide on the outside zone towards the wall. Deane glued to the door of Kevin Purser.
Look at this. Kevin Purser does a really good initiation. James Deane just almost over rotates. I don't know if that was planned or what happened. Wasn't able to get the grip. Maybe got onto the curb there, but then has to play catch up through the rest of it and does an amazing job on the door of the Estonian driver of Kevin Purser. Wow. I mean, there's no way Kevin Purser would know what just happened.
No, until he just see James Deane pop up in the side. Here we go, decisions in, left for Purser, right for James Deane. It's 1 vote for Kevin Purser. It's going to be Kevin Purser!
Wow.
He takes down James Deane, and that